Bienvenidos todos. En nombre de la Embajada de los Estados Unidos y bienvenidos a Mastermind. Mastermind será una práctica mensual que tendremos muchos emprendedores, profesionales. Vamos a estar hablando de muchos temas que tienen que ver con el emprendimiento, la innovación, la economía, etcétera. Queremos escuchar a ustedes para que sepamos qué otros temas les interesan. Lo más padre de este proyecto es que cada una de estas sesiones tendremos a un exalumno del programa Jóvenes Líderes de la Salud. Hará una entrevista a una personalidad de Estados Unidos distinta. En algunos casos presencial, como es el caso de hoy, y en otras ocasiones. Así que con eso, dejo el listo a uno de nuestros alumnos favoritos, que se llama José Reyes, de Quintana, quien nos presentará a nuestra personalidad. Muchas gracias. Bienvenidos.
Jodi, very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm super excited. And well, we are gonna start with a quick message in Spanish, so I can just like let them know what's gonna happen. Bienvenidos todos a este primer Mastermind. De verdad que para mí es por fin el proyecto que está haciendo realidad. De verdad que esto es un gran logro de parte de todo el equipo pues de la embajada que confía en nosotros de Kingala como organizadores, como partners. Y hoy, pues lo que va a suceder es que vamos a hablar con esta super rockstar. Ahorita lo voy a explicar en inglés para que I'm going to explain that in English as well. Pero la intención es tener esta conversación. Vamos a estar aquí una hora. Voy a hacerle algunas preguntas a Jodi para que nos dé insights acerca de marketing global. Y después queremos escucharlos a ustedes. Queremos saber qué preguntas tienen acerca de marketing, acerca de un poco de estrategia digital, acerca del marketing interno, que de eso vamos a hablar el día de hoy. Y la idea es que sea este foro de ustedes. Entonces van a ver aquí sobre el kickoff, el arranque de Mastermind. Tenemos muchísimas cosas para ustedes, así que bienvenidos. Rápido, un aviso súper importante. En su Zoom, en la parte de abajo, ustedes pueden elegir si quieren escuchar esta transmisión en inglés o si quieren escucharla al español. En este momento yo estoy hablando en español, pero voy a empezar a hablar en inglés. Entonces, si estás viendo esta transmisión en este momento, it's gonna be in English. Si lo quieres escuchar en español, abajo, en los botones le puedes clicar para escucharlo en español. Y si tienes alguna duda, también aquí está nuestro equipo de Kingala para poderte dar este soporte. There were just like initial announcements. So welcome. I'm really happy to have you here in Mexico City. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. First time in Mexico City. I've done so much. I've met so many people. It's been great. So I'm excited to have this conversation. And it's great because this is just two friends having a conversation about what we love to do. And we want to make sure that we share it with you.
Yeah, and obviously I wanted to read like the whole curriculum that you have. But Jodi told me that, no, just introduce me like that. And
they can
start,
Google me. They can Google me. They don't need to do that because like that's wasted. We're wasting time if we go through what I'm doing. So let's just get into it. And we want to make sure that they ask questions too.
Yeah.
So we're going to have our conversation, but we want to make sure that you ask questions because this is a great opportunity to ask us anything. We've been doing this. I've been doing this for 13 years. For my business, 30 years my career, and you've been doing it for how long?
12 years.
And then that's for your business, but how long for the career?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, like I'm 36, maybe if I started at 15.
I know.
Maybe.
All right, there you go. We love what we do. We love owning both businesses. We love building businesses. We love supporting businesses. So this is our time to share who we are and then get your questions too.
Yeah, perfect. So, I mean, like just to give a quick brief about you, you are a marketing strategist, like the official title, but you do a lot of things like in terms of social impact, in terms of volunteering, in terms of obviously like this strategy, like not only in marketing terms, but it's like the general strategy of the business.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of questions, but as you just said, I want to pass the mic also. I mean, not the mic, the keyboard to the audience, so they can ask questions. But something that we've been talking about here in Mexico, and I think that also in the US, is about this failure rate that we have as entrepreneurs and as creators, right? Because we are seeing this amount of launches, you know, launching products and launching services and companies. But I don't know, like a lot of them, they do not succeed. So in terms of this general perspective that you have right now as a global speaker and as a strategist, what do you think is the key point of these statistics?
Okay, so I'm going to start with the fact that we all live in the world of 100 no's. We get no's all the time. And then once we get a yes, we get super excited. This is fantastic. But we've worked very hard to get through the no's. It's the emotion that's attached to the no's. Now imagine you know what you love. You do it. You've been doing it for someone else. Let's just say you're a marketing person like I have been my entire career. And then you've been working with people for a very long time, but then you realize I want to go off on my own. I want to do it by myself. The pro part of that is you want to do what you've been doing for quite some time. The con of it, and this is the reason why so many businesses fail, is that you have to do marketing, you have to do finance, you have to do operations, you have to do hiring, you have to do technology. Those are not things that you are known for. Those are things that sometimes you just don't want to ask help for. And the failure rate comes fast and furious because people aren't reaching out to the individuals that do those things extremely well. Just because you fail doesn't mean that you, as the person that the expert fails. It's just the fact that maybe you didn't get the proper guidance in regards of building out your company, or at the beginning you didn't strategize who are the people I have to engage with first. So that failure rate is really high only because everyone assumes I'm going to do everything by myself.
Yeah.
It is literally impossible. I can't sneeze with my eyes open. Try it. You can't sneeze with your eyes open. And so same thing, you can't hold all the positions of your job when you're building your own business. You really have to reach out for help. And too many times, a lot of people refuse to ask for help because their egos get in their way. They don't want to tell other people that they're failing. It is embarrassing, it's painful. And then what if you fail? Then you have to go back to that real job. It happens all the time. And that's like what I've seen over and over again globally of why people are failing.
Yeah, and actually I think that's something very important for us, because that's basically the reason why we are doing this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we want you to ask questions. We want you to accept that we all need help,
Yep.
you know, and not only in terms of marketing, but yesterday you were giving this amazing workshop and you were talking about mentors and the process of mentorship.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the importance in the life, in the daily life of an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
In regards of mentorship,
Yeah.
and how can we find mentors, and what kind of mentors, and what's mentorship in regards of this strategy of a small business?
Yeah, so I always like discussing things in the most basic way. I'm not talking down to you, but I just want you to like really understand. If you have an older brother or older sister or aunt or uncle in your life, mom and dad, they have already experienced something. And I go, and they've already experienced it, and you're experiencing it right now. So intuitively, you ask them for help. You ask them for support. Why would you not do that for your business? There's so many of us have been running businesses for years, for decades, and we've gone through a lot of it. Instead of making the mistake for you right now, ask us, help, like find those mentors that are going to guide you. Now, mind you, I always tell everyone, find multiple. People just assume it's just one mentor or one best friend. You could have multiple best friends in multiple countries, and you could have multiple mentors in multiple areas of your business. Find the best of the best. Find the individuals that want to share their knowledge, and then come to them when you need them for a moment, or it could be a month or two. It could be a meeting, 1 hour. It could be like a year. You never know what it is. But all I know is when you are ready to find those mentors, have a list of 3. The first one might say yes. The first one might say no. The second one might say no. The third one might say yes. So you never know if it's number 1, number 2, number 3, but one of them will say yes. And you want to find the best of the best. Don't just go after the ones that you think everyone is having. Don't go after the influencers. I'm sorry, I'm anti-influencer because I love experts. I will gravitate towards an expert, someone that lives, breathes, eats this. Because that's the person that's going to really help you. And that's when you're going to find those individuals that are going to support you throughout your company. So remember, a marketing mentor, an operations mentor, a finance mentor. I mean, literally whatever part of your business that you need the most help, you find the mentor for that reason. And then you stick with them. I mentor multiple people around the world. I go, and one of the things I love is they don't need me all the time. I'm not available all the time. But what's great is when they need me, I will always give 30 minutes or an hour online, on the phone, go have coffee. It's great because they pretty much have the answers already figured out in their head, but they just need someone to talk it through, and they need someone that really knows what they're doing to talk it through with.
Yeah. And I think that something really important when we talk about marketing, it's not only, and I'm a marketer too, you know, but we see marketing only as market the product, market the service, market as an outside marketing, you know, like from inside to outside. But there's this inside marketing, you know, and I know that you are really, really focused on people and people that will work with you, you know, so your team is part of a success or a failure, you know. So I mean, like in the end, we have to realize that we have to do this marketing within the company. And how does that work? Basically, and the question is with small businesses that we are, you know, like worried about like sales and finance and all the things that you just said, but how can we apply marketing within the company in our teams? How does it work?
So I'm going to ask the audience these questions. Number one, would you let your team members, the people that you've hired into your company, would you let them pack a parachute? Like literally jump out of a plane and you literally take a parachute from your team member. Would you jump out knowing that your team member packed the parachute? That's number one. Number two, have you ever seen on social media on Sundays, someone that works with you, oh, it's Sunday, I have to go to work on Monday. For me, I feel that's like a red flag, because if they're already upset about going to work on Monday, should they be there? Do they want to be there? They're promoting your company in that way. Because if they're miserable on Sundays and they don't want to go to work, it may be something going on at work. And then of course, my last one is the easiest one, LinkedIn. If I go to a company and I'm looking on the team and I look at the people and I see a big company, 100, 500, 1,000, even 10, and yet they only have one person listed in the company, I'm wondering why aren't your employees promoting where they are? Because that's the internal marketing. Take care of your people and they will take care of you. Make sure that they're getting all the resources to make sure they're growing in their roles. And remember, it's your company. You love your company. They shouldn't love it like you. They love what they do for you, but they shouldn't love the company like you do, because this is your baby. And I think that people get upset. They're like, they don't like it like I do. They're not supposed to. It's not theirs. They don't have as much invested in it like you do.
Yeah, and I think that's something really important. And just to let you know, Jodi was my mentor 8 years ago. And this is
I still like him.
Still. So we've been friends for 8 years now. And something that helped me a lot to win this first place in Mass Challenge, which was something like amazing. It is still, you know, but at that moment, it was like something impossible somehow. But it was somehow like shocking for me, like coming to a marketing mentor. And the conversation was a lot focused on my team. How's your team? Who's your team? What do they do? So what's I don't know if there was like a strategy or a plan to build a good team as an entrepreneur since the beginning?
For me or for overall?
For overall.
Yes, and yes. So for me, I'm invested in people because since I was little, and I'll share the story of when I was younger, I used to get beat up a lot. I used to get into fights. Not because I was the one that was causing the fight or because like someone was like coming after me. I would see little kids that were not able to protect themselves and I would just jump in there. I was raised to be very strong. I was raised by parents that taught me to be very tough in regards to mind, body, and soul. And so I always wanted to protect. As I grew older, every job that I took on, I took the role of protecting, whether it is governor or mayor or my team members. I've always been that mama bear where I want to protect my team. I want to protect the owner of the company. I've been a protector. When I look into companies that don't take care of their teams, I kind of want to jump in there like, what are you doing? These are people that really want to work for you. It's not just for the money. They want to be there for you. And I want to make sure that the leaders are getting the tools to understand you are a leader. They're looking to you and they want to make sure that they grow the company with you, not go away and say like, oh, worst place in the world to work. So I've always just been invested in just the human capital. I think that everyone works so hard on, I want to grow the business. I want to have a service. I want to have the product. I want to make a lot of money. That will come if you do it well. If you get the right people on your team, the individuals that are experts in their field, the individuals that work really hard, the individuals that are hungry for the growth, you will make all of those things. The product will be better, the service will be better, the money will grow naturally. But the individuals that are just focusing on the money and the product and forgetting about the people, it's a harder struggle. Will you get to your goals? Yes, it will be a struggle. You'll be angry, the stress will be high, not worth it in every single way. So for me, whenever people think about marketing and they're thinking about the product, I'm like, and I tell people all the time, I go, don't care about your product, don't care about your services. I care about your human capital. And with Jose, that was the first thing I would ask all the time. How's the team? You're here. What's going on? I go, is everything? I mean, and I'm always just laser focused, and people are confused until they're not confused.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, just to share that experience. For me, it was like, as I just said, like shocking somehow, like to arrive to a marketing expert like you, and you were just like yourself, your team. I mean, like, how are you? So now I want to move to this question: that how are you? I mean, like, the day before yesterday, when I picked you up at the airport, then you asked me, how are you? And I was like, yeah, everything's all sad. Blah, blah, blah. So I was just like trying to explain you and to give you the general perspective of the event or the company. And right now that I'm again with you, I reaffirm, that this is very important to be the main question, like, how are you? So how is that related with marketing? I mean, it makes no sense somehow, like, to ask that question in marketing. But what do you think about this question that you always ask to people?
I ask this all the time, because for anyone that's ever traveled, you get on the plane and they say, oxygen on you before anybody else. Something goes wrong with the plane, the oxygen will come down, oxygen on you before someone else. Can you save somebody else? Can you put the oxygen on somebody else before? Absolutely. But you're going to get woozy, you're going to pass out, and you're not going to help anybody whatsoever. Everyone knows everyone is replaceable. So that company that you're building and you're working really hard at, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not taking care of your health, if you're not taking care of your mental state, if you're not taking care of just like having a Zen moment of just like, where am I and what's my strategy of how I'm going to grow my business, it doesn't matter, because you won't be around, and either your company will disappear, your employees will buy it out, or it just basically gets acquired by someone. At the end of the day, you need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself. I require every one of my clients to take one full day off, or half a day, a morning and an afternoon off during the week, because weekends aren't your own. Weekends are for family, friends, events, paying bills, cleaning, etc. But when you're working, that day off of just going and just driving and working in a coffee shop, or going to a museum, learning something new, getting a whole new perspective of your company. We live in a global world that now you can work from anywhere. Jump on a plane and work from somewhere in a different location. Every other year, I go to Guadeloupe, and literally I turn off English because you have to speak French there, and I stay in one place, and for 1 month, I work from there. I'm still doing my work, but it's just nice where I don't have to run to meetings. I'm not accountable to anybody else. So I do it myself. It's very, very helpful to make sure that your company succeeds, to make sure your team succeeds, because that's another thing. When you're not there, you're going to see if your team really pack the parachute very well. You're going to see that your team can take care of the business without you being there, and you don't have to micromanage everything. Because if you hired right, if you hired right, then they will take care of the business, and you can go off and think clearly, come up with new ideas to bring back to them.
Yeah, so that's like the basic rule,
Basic.
Yeah.
So basic for me.
But it's weird, like, to talk about that in marketing, and now I want to move, like, before going to receive some questions.
Well, wait, I just want to sit there and say, marketing comes in different shapes and sizes. So I always sit there and say, marketing is my umbrella. Underneath the umbrella, there's social media, there's like digital, there's social media, there's all these different avenues of marketing. My umbrella of marketing is all about the humans. And so I have chosen to be the expert of the humans. And when I do that very well, the business development that follows. So I'm marketing and business development, and that business development is dependent on the humans. It's dependent on making sure that you are not in the boat by yourself.
Yeah. And talking about that, about humans, how is this boom of, these social media, Instagram, TikTok, like, connecting us, but also disconnecting us? So it's kind of a double, impact that we are having. So what do you think about this?
So I'm of the school of, just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean you have to do it. So think about whatever industry you're on, you don't have to be everywhere. So if you're a surgeon and you're trying to build your brand, is Twitter the right place for you to be? Maybe, maybe not. You want to make sure that if and when you're using social media, you're using the platform that you're on regularly, and you're using the platform that makes the most sense in regards of it's easy to use. I'm on all of them. It's my job to watch them. I watch all my clients. I watch friends. I don't like everything. I don't need to like everything, but I'm seeing who's active. I'm seeing who's using social media. I'm seeing who's using AI. I'm seeing who's posting photos. I'm seeing people who's traveling, making connections. I'm seeing it all. And then I can advise what is best and what is not best for that individual. I post when I want to post. Everyone's like, I go, where are you now? I'm like, I go, exactly. Where in the world is Jodi now? You never know until I post. If other people post, I will tag, I will share. I don't have to post all the time. Sometimes I'm just pretty much bored with social media. It's the same thing. An influencer here, an expert there. I'm just bored with it. I want to post when it's going to be exciting and fun and engaging for my target audience. And so if you're just spitting in the wind and just posting all the time, then it just gets to the point where people are like, oh my God, it's just so much. There's nothing of relevance. So I would always say, talk to someone that really knows what they're doing. Don't just hire everyone just to keep posting, because your competition is so high in regards of everyone is posting. There's so much materials. We know that when we were younger, there were a few TV stations. Everyone used to talk about, we all watched one show together. Now there's so much out there. Everyone is seeing so many things. I want you to make sure that if you're using social media, it makes sense for you, and you're using it where if I'm going to do it only on Monday, make sure it's the best darn thing on Monday, but just don't put things every single day just for the sake that my competitors are doing it.
Yeah. So before going to questions, I don't know if we can start collecting some questions. So you can start writing them on the chat. That will be a good idea. But before that, I want to talk this artificial intelligence, virtual reality, blockchain, so all these fancy words that we hear now. So what's happening around marketing in the global perspective, and how can we apply these tools into our small companies?
Yeah. So AI, I'm going to say this, AI, artificial intelligence, has been around for a very long time, very, very long time. It's more powerful now because the media has the story. So as a former media person, I worked in the media for 10 years. I go, the second we get a story that we know has been around for a long time, we all run with it. We all say it, and now it's everywhere you go. And then we put our spin. Are we going to entice you by using it for your business, or are we going to scare you? Oh my God, lock my doors. I'm never leaving the house ever again because I'm afraid AI is going to get me. Every single technology that we are dealing with, I'm sorry, back up. We get brand new tools to advance ourselves every single day. It's all dependent on how you want to use it. If you spoke to your parents, we had the rotary phone, then we had the push phone. Then we got the flip phone, the BlackBerry, iPhone. We kind of I don't know, until you see everyone with the phone. Same thing with the calculator. When we were younger, at least for me, when I was younger, I would have to go for these big exams, pencil and paper only. Now you go, you take an exam, the computer does everything for you. These are all tools that we're growing with. Keyword, we're growing with. If you choose to be afraid of it, that's fine. But now you're going to be behind the wheels, and the further you are, the more the fear will grow. It doesn't make sense. Learn about it. There are 25 different AI forms that you can use for businesses. Start picking which one makes sense for you. And the most important part about using AI, tell people. If I'm using pen and paper saying 1 + 1, people can see 1 + 1. If you're using a calculator, it's right there too. Just tell people that you're using it. Make sure that people are understanding that you're using it as a personal assistant, and not trying to sit there and get something by me by saying, oh, look what I wrote. You didn't write this. It's okay. AI is a personal assistant to a small business. It's an asset to a small business. If you play around with all the different ones, and there's just like social media, there's 25 different versions that are really great right now. Literally, they're great right now. Just play with them and see which one makes the most sense. But guess what? A savvy person like me, I know when you're using it because it's cut and copy. Be smart, take some time. Don't just sit there and assume the machine's going to do it for you. Really, really take time to make it your own.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Every time I listen to you, I'm like, yeah, I want to learn more. We're gonna go to get some questions. I don't know if we have them already or if you want to, Ceci, you want to share with us?
We have one.
Huh?
Okay, I have a question for you, Tatiana. How small businesses can take advantage of AI, and what are your top 3 AI tools you commonly use?
Okay, so I'm not going to give you 3 because you're going to get overwhelmed. So I'm just going to give you the easiest one to use to navigate right now. Chat GPT. I always get it wrong. Chat. I would just call it chat. So as a small business, so may I get a follow-up question as in how small is your business? 100 employees, 10 employees, 20, like what's the size?
We don't know, but we can ask to that person that asked that question. We can ask him that. Herman, how many employees does he have?
Something.
20 something.
22. Okay, this is good. Okay, so if you're engaging with your social media, with the social media platforms, actually better yet, articles. So think about what's happening in the industry that you're in. Read that article, and then through your perspective, 200, 300 words, create a blog on your website. And then you're just going to write an article answering back to that. Now, you're not going to be able to answer, like, I mean, there are times that you're going to be able to do it yourself, but there are times that you just want to just come up with like a quick little answer to what your thoughts were in regards to your company. So you're prompting the AI, you're putting your company and then what your company does, you're putting the article and then 1 or 2 bullet points of what you think. And within seconds, 200, 300 words, AI will design it, making sure it sounds just like you. And then you're going to ask AI, you're going to put it on your blog. So that way it's always your list. You're constantly adding this information on your website because you want to drive people to your website. And then you're going to sit there and come up with 1 line, as in tell AI, I want 1 line for my social media with hashtags. Now that's what you're going to put on your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook, and your LinkedIn. It's going to lead them back to with the link. It's going to lead them back right to your website. You're driving traffic to your website. You have a nice article where it's written. And then now everyone realizes like, wow, this person's engaged in a timely manner. With AI only goes to 2020. So mind you, if you're using an article, you have to use that article, inject it into AI as well. AI can use the article as a reference, but if you're assuming that AI is going to do it by itself, it only goes up to 2020. All the content that's going into all the AI platforms only go up to 2020.
Good.
Okay, next question. My startup is a project to support artisans outside of the country. I've been in it for only a year, but I still don't have a mentor. I would love to though. What would be the best place to find one?
What kind of mentor would you like? Follow-up questions. I love these follow-up questions.
Yeah.
So who's the person that we're talking to?
This person is Angie. She made the question in Spanish.
I do love this. Like, this is the fun part where,
Wow.
okay, so I'll start, but then we have to like figure out exactly the rest of the question. So when you have we have.
It's a mentor to help me grow.
Okay. Business development.
Personal growth.
Personal growth or business development. We're going to go for both.
Oh,
I like
perfect.
this. Okay. So for the personal growth, you have to show your audience that you're an expert. So if you're an artist, where's your artwork and what kind of form, like what's the medium of the art, whether it's oil, whether it's photography, whether it's a watercolor, show that you actually know the skills and show that you are an expert because you have schooling, etc. I mean, even if you're self-taught, you have to show that aspect. Number 1, a portfolio, a website. In regards to the growth, in your business, if you want to actually have a global, you want to go for global mentors. You want to go to all the art schools. And you want to make sure that you're looking at the art professors that are actually in the business world. When I did my MBA, I chose the MBA for one specific thing. I didn't want just academics teaching me. I wanted business owners teaching me. So the school that I chose, Babson College, was all my professors own their own businesses. They're the best people to teach because they're entrepreneurs. They know what's happening right now. They're not just in a classroom. So you want to go around the world, like basically go around the world, art schools, individuals that are teachers that own their own businesses, not just putting art in their gallery, and then finding out which one has basically has been mentoring. That is a great start because they're going to recommend other individuals for you as well. depending on how you want your company to grow and depending what's the model of your company is where you want to go for a financial person. Financial person overall, it could be anyone, operations, HR, all of those are transferable skills. So it's easy to find those mentors, but you want to start with the individuals that are in your industry that own businesses, because they can teach you all the good, the bad, and ugly of what you need to grow your business to the next level.
Okay, we have another question.
Yep.
Can you create marketing campaigns on a local level using AI for social media?
Absolutely. That's the fun part about AI. So just so that way I can tell you how much AI is fun. So someone asked me yesterday, how often are you on AI? And I'm like, I'm not on it that often just because I mean, I love writing. I worked in the media. I love telling stories. I love to write. So I'm not on it that often. But when I do go on it, I want to test the waters. So sometimes I just go in my refrigerator. I list all the things that are in my refrigerator and it tells me a full menu for the week, which I'm like, that's how good it is. It can do anything very quickly. So think about your campaigns. It's who is your target audience is the number one thing. Who do you want to market to? Because if you're just, again, just like putting it out there to everyone, not everyone's going to see it, or the right person's definitely not going to see it. So who is your clear target audience? That means who's going to write the check, who's going to engage with you, who wants to sit there and tell other people how amazing you are in regards of the business or the service or the product that you develop. So who is that person? Where are they? What are they reading? Where are they exercising? Like where would they be? And then you're designing the campaign towards them where they are. So if it's going towards a gym, then I'm going to sit there and campaign at a gym. I'm going to target gyms through my social media, through my AI, and I'm going to design things to partner with a local gym. So you want to find partners, you want to know who your clear target audience is, and then you want to come up with very creative ways of engaging those individuals. It's all dependent on your creativity. AI will do what you tell it to do, but don't assume that AI will do it for you.
Yeah. So we have more questions. That's it? No, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a very good opportunity for you. So you can ask questions not only about marketing, as I just said, about business, about startups, this is a very good opportunity. But I want to jump back a little bit to the previous question. They were talking about mentorship, right? So right now there's this trend, of coaching, so there are like marketing coach, financial coach, sales coach. So what's the difference?
I don't know if everyone just saw, I just rolled my eyes.
Yeah, so what's the difference between a mentor and a coach? I think I understand it, but I mean, I want to know, in an international perspective, and also in regards of these small businesses, that they are looking for mentors, but sometimes we are confused when we, we see an advertising of, a marketing coach.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between these two roles?
Okay, so it's semantics, meaning that they're just words. They really are just words. But so I love saying things. I love saying things that people are like, what? So I am a mentor. I am not a coach. I'm not squishy. I'm not here to hold your hands. I'm not here to pat you on your back. Your grandmother, your mom, you're like, most people in your life will like, good job, good job. I'm not that person.
She's not.
I'm not.
that.
I'm not that person. You want to make sure that there are people that are in your court that will tell you you're not doing a great job. This is not okay. You need to pivot in every single way. I go, this is not going to be effective. Your strategy is broken. You need that in your life. I walk into rooms and before I even sit down, I do a 360 and I'm like, nope. Oh, I like that. And that's what I do. It's what I'm known for. I find it to be funny sometimes because when I don't do it, people are like, oh, I'm kind of confused. Jodi likes everything. I'm like, oh, no, I didn't like everything. I just didn't say everything. So a coach, in my opinion, is very squishy. They're there, you pay them and they kind of go with it. I kind of don't see myself like that at all. I want to make sure that you succeed and I push you. I push you very, very hard. I push you in you're in the comfort zone. I push you outside of the comfort zone. That's why I've been so successful in what I'm doing. Globally, people are tired of being, oh, nice job. Yeah. They're tired. Yeah. They're tired of it. They're tired of their hard-earned money going to someone that's just not going to give them the truth. Yeah. And not everyone can be tough. Because some people are just mean. And I always say, like, I go, there's no need for you to be mean. You could be tough and not mean. And sometimes people like push the envelope of just being mean. That's not okay neither. You want to find the mentors that really believe in you. You want to find the mentors that will push you to the uncomfortable where you walk away. And many times people, you're thinking bigger now. I need you to think bigger, to be smarter, to be wiser. And I think that's one of the moments where, for me, a mentor, and this is not sports. Sports is a whole different thing. That's a coach in sports. This is primarily in the business world, a coach versus a mentor. A mentor will push you, will guide you, will be with you, etc. And I'm not into the coddling part. I'm not here to be squishy.
Yeah. So do we have more questions or?
We
Because
have-
I have a lot of questions, so I can ask a lot, but I want to go to the audience. Yeah.
Areas. Jodi, I am an entrepreneur and I run an immigration procedure consultancy. Consular and immigration advice, verification of job proposals to avoid job visa scams, etc. What kind of mentors should I have? Who could I go to?
Oh, internal. So I would say that your best mentor should be someone that's inside that company that has like been growing and literally is about to retire. That individual that has seen it all, and they have seen it where the technology wasn't the same. And so they've seen the company progress and grow. Find that individual, invite them for coffee, and then ask them, how do I go about growing myself within this company? If you do not have that person within your company or within a company companies that you're working with, find other industries or other countries that have the same role that you're doing and ask them like, hey, can I hop on Zoom? Can I hop on a phone call? I just have a couple of questions. The right person will never say no to you. The right person will never say no to you because they want to share their knowledge and they want to make sure that you succeed in your area.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I'm gonna put the same question, but on the opposite side.
Okay.
What do you look for in a mentee?
In a mentee.
Because I know that you are not easy, and I'm
literally, if you Google me, it's people. I have people writing and tell the truth, and they say if Jodi talks to you, she cares. If she doesn't talk to you, that's it.
Yeah.
I will go silent.
What do you look for in a mentee?
You know what? Someone that's it's never the product, but just the passion in the person, the excitement in what they're doing. They may not know what direction, they may not know how to get there. I'd rather work with someone that has an idea, that's passionate and excited, that really will do whatever it takes to succeed without lying, stealing, cheating, or hurting themselves or somebody else. That is like always my motto. But I want to make sure that the person is serious because venture capitalists, angel funders, banks, other investors that have a lot of money, but yet they don't have a school or children that they're going to give that money to. They want to be part of something new. They want to see the passion and they want to learn from you. So you've learned everything. You continue to learn everything about what your industry is. You go and speak. Those that learn should teach what they're learning to other people. So the person that's passionate, that is constantly learning, the person that literally sometimes we're like, did I forget to eat or sleep because I'm so excited about what I'm doing? That's the person I want to work for. And the person that's like, yes, you will be frustrated with me. You will be like, oh my God, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to cry my eyes out. I'm going to come back and I'm going to like go again. That's the person I want to work with. The person that is, yes, I'm the best. And they go and they just like are bolstering themselves, but they never talk about the client. They never talk about their expertise. They're just bolstering who they are. I worry about that person. That person is definitely a red flag for me. Or the person that says like, I want to work with you because you're a woman. I want to work with you because you're a minority. I want to work with you because you have long hair. I want to work with you because you have gray hair. Anyone that wants to work with me for all these reasons, I'm like, you want to work with me for all the wrong reasons. Because I want you to succeed and I want you to focus on what you're doing, but you only want to work with Jodi because of Jodi. And that's weird for me. I think that's just odd. You want to work with the best mentors and it doesn't matter who they are, what they look like. You want their brain. You want their brain. You want their access. You want them to sit there and open doors for you after you have proven that you believe in what you do. And so for me, mentees have to care about themselves. They have to care about their clients. They have to care about their target audience. They have to care about changing the world. Yeah. If you're not in it to change the world in your area or on a bigger level, what's the point?
Yeah. More questions.
Okay, Jodi, where can we find more of you? Books, podcasts, personal advice, anything.
Oh my God, it's like, I feel like I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. You could just, it's weird. You can Google me. Like, I mean, Jose and I are going to be having a longer conversation later on. And it's funny because he's like, because do you want to see questions before? I'm like, no, I go, I don't need to see the questions before. Same thing with, if you want to know anything about me, you really could just Google me. I was very lucky in my career that I worked in the media. And I worked on a media where it was a morning show and everything about our lives were right there. It was on the table. And then I worked for Governor Romney as a press secretary. Everything in my life was right on the table. I have nothing to hide. I mean, I'm not that, he says I'm a rock star. I feel like I'm just a normal person that is a dangerous 5-year-old that's curious about everything and I want to do everything. So I am out there a lot doing a lot of things because I see something like I go, wouldn't that be interesting to go to Sydney's Opera House and watch the opera? And then I found a way to go to Australia and live there for a year and work and volunteered. I volunteered for a year just because I want to live in Australia because I wanted to go to the Opera House for an opera. So I'm that person where I've done a lot of things. I've traveled, I acquire a lot of content and I share it with as many people as possible. I have one book right now, and it's a children's book that I did in 2017. I have multiple books coming out because during the pandemic, I wrote 6 books because I had the time, like we all had the time. I don't watch TV, so I have plenty of activities that I do. I do stream. I stream movies, but I don't watch TV. I don't own a TV. But yeah, you can find me anywhere. It's really not that hard.
And sometimes talking about mentors, we think that we have to find our mentors like in a in-person ecosystem, I don't know, like around us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if it was since I met you in Mass Challenge, 2015, but I opened my perspective of, I mean, you can find mentors like
everywhere. Yeah.
Like
even when you don't, even in the places that you least expect, you can find a mentor.
Yeah. So what will be like the first step? Like, I don't know if I find someone on LinkedIn, that I really, really like, I don't know, maybe because of the experience, because of the, of the background. Should I send him or her a message?
So let's just start with, what do you need? I mean, mentor is there if you need it. So like, I mean, if I go to, I have many mentors. I've had mentors for long-term, short-term. And when I contact my mentor, I need something. Like they know, I mean, like I'm getting the phone call. When I get the phone calls, I know that you're contacting me, not to say like, hey, how are you doing? You need me. So I know why you're contacting me. Most people find me, so I'll go back the way that people usually find me. They professionally stalk me. Don't scare me. Professionally stalk the person and find out, do they have all the things that you need right now? Okay. Come prepared. It is by far one of my biggest pet peeves when someone comes to me and they're like, they sit there and I'm like, so we're sitting here drinking coffee or tea and you have any questions? And they're not prepared. They're just sitting there. And that's just a waste of both of our time. Yeah. So make sure that you're finding the right person for you right now, not next week, not like a year from now, right now. And then make sure that you're fully prepared. You've done your due diligence on them. You've read about them. You've read articles about them. You've emailed them. You've not emailed. You've like read. You've gone on their social medias. You've seen what they've posted. Learn about them very well, and then think about in your life, what do you need right now in comparison to the person you're trying to find, and then contact them. Hey, you know what? I saw this article that you read. That you wrote. I loved it. I saw that there's a class that you are teaching. I couldn't get in, but I would like to know if you could take 15 to 20 minutes just for you to, for me to contact you. I have 2 or 3 questions. The right mentor will never say no. On my LinkedIn, it says that I will always give everyone 30 minutes. If I could squeeze 30 minutes in on the phone, not on Zoom. I will always do 30 minutes on the phone. So WhatsApp, etc. Just come prepared. Come with answers. If you have a problem right now, that one sentence, we can figure it out in 30 minutes. If you're really interesting, I usually give you an hour. But if you're not, you got 30 minutes. And there you go. Clean and it's all, I'm being honest.
So that's a public offer that we can.
It's a public offer. It's a public offer. So between now, it could be now, between the end of the year, it's literally, I give 30 minutes to anyone that really just wants to come prepared. And you have something like, I am having this problem, or I don't want everyone to hear on this forum my question, and we can figure it out. But at the end of the day, I can sit there and help you lead you to the right people for mentors. If you're looking for a mentor, you have to do the work. You have to do the work,
Yeah.
but I can sit there and lead you in regards of finding the right mentor that will guide you to whatever goal you have. Because I believe everyone, I don't care what your background is, I don't care where you came from, I don't care what's your economic development, your economic growth or non-growth, everyone could achieve their goals if they work hard and if they believe in themselves.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we only have 10 minutes left and we still have time for, no, I think 2 questions. We can,
Okay.
yeah.
It says, hi, Jodi.
Hi.
What would you recommend when you have been absent for a long time from social media
Mhm.
and decide to reactivate virtually to pursue your entrepreneurship?
If you go onto my LinkedIn, my Instagram on my LCG brands, my business, I haven't posted in a year just for fun. Just for fun, I stopped posting. And everyone's like, what are you doing? I go, you can see that I'm active. You don't have to post everywhere for people to know that you're active doing things. And you can backtrack. So there, I have this hashtag post when I want. And I literally, like, I have things on my phone that I've taken pictures when I travel around, and I literally post when I want. It's still new to the person that's seeing it. It's still new to the person that's seeing it. That's why I'm saying you don't have to do it just because everyone else is doing it. It's your time, it's your world. And by the way, if I'm on social media all the time, that means I'm not working. And I have to work for my clients. I have to work for my team. I have to work. I'm not on it all the time. I don't expect them to be on it all the time. But when we do it, like we made a decision a year ago, when we post, we literally put hashtag posting when we want to. It's funny.
That's a good tagline.
Yeah.
To have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one more question. Do we have?
Oh, that's okay.
So, yeah, so we still have this 10 minutes, but I want to get the best of.
Yeah.
So small businesses, I'm going to go back to the first question, you know, that we are struggling sometimes every day.
Every day.
With a lot of things. So how would you recommend to have like this prioritizing, I don't know, like list or maybe a strategy of waking up every day and saying what's the most important thing to do? And somehow the first thing that comes to my mind is sales. You know, like it's always sales. So that part is related with marketing.
Yep.
So what do you think about this prioritizing strategy that we should have as business owners?
Yeah, it's hard. That's a very hard question, only because everything's important. Everything needs to come first. Literally everything is important. And it's like, I think that's a frustration where everyone wakes up, anyone that's in the entrepreneurial ecosystem that is a business owner, every day, the fire engine is like ready to come through the door. Like the fire is on. And so my biggest advice for this one is create a map. And your map is your 12 months. In 12 months, you know what happens every single month. So there's specific things, you know, there's a new year, you know, there's Valentine's Day, you know, there's, we'll call it Mexican Day, which is like on Monday.
Yeah.
You know that there's like the religious holidays, you know, things that are happening every single month. Every month there's something.
Yeah.
Each month, there should be 2 times that you're really engaging with your audience. I mean, you're engaging all the time, but there's 2 big ones, big things that you're engaging. One should be towards a holiday, so that way it's automatically in, and one should be something that's internally that you're in your company that you've developed. You created you just created it. Just every January we do this. It makes life easier when you know every month something is happening. So that way you're not stressing out like, how am I going to do this big, huge marketing and big, huge sales?
Yeah.
Every day you're selling. Every single time your employee goes out and says, I work somewhere, they're selling. Every single time you introduce yourself, someone, especially in the United States, tell me your name and where you work. I go, in other countries, tell me your name and tell me who you are. Either way, you're going to be promoting what you do. So you're selling all the time. As a business owner, you never stop selling. Even as a large business owner, you're wearing your logo of your company. You're always selling.
Yeah.
It never, ever stops. So don't ever think that you're like, I'm not selling today. You're always selling. Whether it's on social media, whether it's like you sitting at a coffee shop by yourself, you're always selling. So at the end of the day, come up with a calendar, design it out where 2 times a month, one that's like a traditional holiday or an event in your country, and then one that is like something that you've created inside, and then you're basically building out from there. So in essence, you're having 12 hits. I mean, I'm sorry, 24 amazing hits every single month that are big bangs. And then everything else is just like, I go, what's happening in the industry, making sure that people know that you are an expert in your industry. You're always knowing what it is. Put Google alerts on what's happening in the industry so that way you're always chiming in every single time. And you're the first one. So my Google alerts come in at 4:30 in the morning. That's what time I wake up. I'm that early bird because I have international clients overseas. So I'm always on top of that. But I always know what's happening in all the industries because I have alerts on them and I can respond to them quickly. So it's like constantly feeding the beast of the content that it's growing. That's sales. That's marketing.
That's marketing. And so we can get another question. Yeah,
One more.
Okay, I have been a business owner, a restaurant owner for 9 years, but now I want to look for a new generation of clients. Do you recommend that I start investing in apps for young people like TikTok?
Would the individuals that you're going after be on TikTok? So just because like the commercials and everything says that young people are on TikTok, doesn't mean they're on it. You want to go after the foodies, the individuals that would really want to be in your establishment and they really want to eat your food. That's the biggest thing. The people that have already been coming to your restaurant for 9 years, they have young kids. I go, and you want to get them to come into your restaurant and then take pictures. So you want to grow this following, engage with the universities and colleges, give discounts for all the universities. Like if you go to this school, you get a discount, you get them through the doors, you make sure they love your food, you make sure that they take pictures of them, let them become your salespeople, let them get their friends engaged, let them say like, hey, we're having this night for college students. I go open to XYZ, certain prices. Find ways to get them through the door and make sure your food is amazing. I don't know, but make sure your food is amazing because when they like it, they will continue to come, they will tell their friends and they will hang out here.
Yeah. So do we have another question?
Yeah.
Do
you recommend hiring a branding agency when you are just starting your startup? For example, in my case,
I love this one.
Yeah, for example, in my case, to start artisan product line kind of store. Yeah.
Okay. I would say no. Nope, and no. You don't have the money. You don't have the money yet. Be smart. So what you would do, so I would say do not, I'm going to keep saying, do not hire a big agency when you're first starting out. You need to save your money and you need to keep it close inside. What you want to do is, universities, colleges have great students that can be interns. I've had an internship program for 30 years. 30 years, I have interns from all over the world and I teach them. I don't just make them do busy work. I teach them what I know. And guess what? They teach me what they know. What? I know. I don't know it all. And they come in with all these great ideas and they make my business smarter, and I don't have to work harder, which is so much fun. So get those interns to help you grow your company on a social media, on a digital platforms in different ways. They'll use TikTok, they'll use Instagram, they'll come up with like amazing graphics, but don't spend your money until you grow a lot bigger on an agency. It does not make sense. And did we not talk about AI earlier? They really use that as your assistant. Between the interns and AI, use these sources as assistants to grow your company and get those mentors so it can help you grow your company. But do not spend your money just because a big agency says they can help you. It doesn't make sense. I'm telling you right now, I've worked with big agencies. I go, literally, they hire me sometimes to come into their companies and say, can you teach our team how to make sure that they're doing their jobs properly? They're great for large companies, but 98% of small companies, 99% of the businesses in Mexico are small businesses. 99%. You guys should be spending your money wisely so that way you live long. For the person that was on for 9 years, you're not really in business yet because you have to hit 10 years. And at 10 years, you know what you're doing, you know your target audience, you know everything about your business. Now year 11 is year 1 all over again because now it's time to grow that business. So number 9, you're not there yet. I'm at number 4 because I'm 14 years in business. I'm 4. And one of my mentors had to bust my bubble. I was like, 10 years, I made it. They're like, no, you didn't. You didn't make it yet. I go, what happened is you survived 10 years. Now you have to make it grow. And I'm like, okay. So I have the mentors too that bust my bubble. So yeah.
So we have only like 2 minutes left. Yeah, it was like really
That was
fast.
fast.
And a lot of questions, and it was amazing talking to you once again.
Once
after
again,
8
so much
years.
more talking coming up.
Yeah, so I just want to wrap it up. I don't know, like if you have like a final message to the Mexican audience that is connected with us, and to invite you an action, like any specific action that they can do immediately.
So my last words, being an entrepreneur, being an innovator, being a business owner, being a leader is hard. It's hard. We wake up in the morning every single day and we are excited. We are excited that we are doing whatever we are doing. And at nighttime, we go to bed thinking, I didn't do enough. I didn't do enough. Oh my God, does anyone believe in what I'm doing? Take it slow, take a breath. If you've chosen to do this, you're in the right place. It's not going to be easy. It's never going to be easy, but you're in the right place. And if you surround yourself with people that care for you, that's friends and family, as well as total strangers, if you surround yourself with the right people, you will get ahead. We as business owners, leaders, entrepreneurs, innovators, we're not patient. We want it now. We do. We want it now. And it doesn't work that way. So if possible, take a breath, surround yourself with the right people, come up with a plan and work towards your plan. Think of it this way. If you have a plan, you're walking towards it. No plan, you're kind of flailing everywhere. Come up with a plan and work towards it. So you're working backwards into it. And that's about it. I mean, it's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. If we wanted it to be easy, we would be working at Starbucks. They have insurance. They have good insurance for their employees. But we chose this route. You guys chose to take time and listen to both of us. We're silly, we're fun, but we love what we do. If you don't hear the passion in our voices, then maybe you fell asleep while we were talking. I don't know, but we are passionate about what we do. I want you to be just as passionate about what you do. And yeah, just find the right people. They'll take care of you while you change the world. You're here to change the world.
Thank you. I always like to talk to you, and I mean, like, it's amazing to hear all these, perspectives and key points that we can immediately go to action. And for me, it's just like a final words of saying thank you for being here, being in Mexico City, being in this like kickoff of Masterminds, this program that we are just starting. We are aiming to have one talk like this every month, and we are gonna have like a lot of them. So this was the best opening for this program. And thank you very much, and thank you all.
Thank you.
And thank also Ceci, Miguel, and the staff who were here. So thank you so much.
Thanks for everyone that's on. I mean, like, I love this. This is like, I'm looking at all the names, like, this is wild. It's awesome.
Yeah. So thank you very much, and see you next month. So that's it. This is just the beginning of Masterminds. Thank you very much again, and see you the next month. Bye-bye.